with Richard Gorelick. I'm Amanda. This is Richard. You can join us here every Thursday at 12:30 to talk about everything food related in Baltimore. This week in Baltimore, eating is brought to you by Eddie's of Roland Park, your neighborhood gourmet grocer on Roland Avenue in North Charles Street in Baltimore. What are we talking about?
Hey, Amanda, hi.
Hi, Richard.
You
Good
had a
to see
time
you.
last night. I know you did.
I did. So my mom had an art opening at Grimaldi's Gallery. It was fantastic. Everyone came except for Richard Gorelick.
Yes.
Scott Dance also was not there. So, but anyway, yes, it was great. And anyone out there should stop by Grimaldi's Gallery all month, actually through into March, I think, and see this really great group collage show. It was fantastic. And afterwards, we went to eat at Akbar, which is always good. They accommodated 10 people with no notice.
Good for Akbar.
Good for Akbar. They're
And,
good at that. They do
Grimaldi's
that.
Gallery at
It's on Charles Street.
500
it's
block
right
of
across
North.
from where Louise was. Good
Right.
old Louise.
Hey, so there's been news in Baltimore.
There's a lot of news happening.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Okay, let's
Because
do
we
that.
have a lot of we love talking about openings, and we still talk about a lot of openings, and we'll continue to talk about those. But there have been, we think, maybe more than a normal amount of closings.
Seems
and
like it.
We're trying to figure out if it means something or not. There's a couple articles in today's Baltimore Business Journal on this subject.
There were.
The one that we couldn't read.
That's besides
Sorry,
the point.
BBJ, but we just didn't subscribe to
But
it.
they definitely, we know that they wrote an article about, is this a disturbing trend? Is it time to be concerned? Things are closing. A lot closed within like the last week.
Right. And what we have to figure out in our position is whether it's still at the coincidence level or whether it is a sign of troubled times in the restaurant industry. And we don't want to be
Alarmist.
gloom and right. We don't want to be.
We don't want to do that.
And then a few of them, if you think about it, if there's tempting to lump in things like Bagby Pizza, but that was sold sort of to a known party. It was one cousin basically selling it to another. So I wouldn't call that. I would take it off the conversation.
Right.
But what happens is when people start compiling lists of closings, they'll include that. But it's not really.
It's not really a closing, it's sort of transfer, right?
It's hard to figure out someplace like Reggie's in Federal Hill, where I used to work back in the
Really?
80s.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I don't think I knew that about
Reggie
you.
owned it then.
Oh, good old Reggie.
I was a bartender. It's hard to figure that one out. That looks like it could be partially a good old-fashioned retirement. Some people do retire.
That happens too. That does
So the
happen.
business is for sale. We would love it if that was bought by someone who's going to keep it like Reggie's was, a neighborhood gathering space for a more sort of sedate, maybe older crowd. So we'll keep our eye on Reggie's, but it is up for sale. And we heard this week that Fork and Wrench is for sale
Which
too.
I really liked it there.
Beautiful place in
Yeah.
Canton on Boston
I
Street.
really liked that spot. I haven't been in a while, but I liked it there.
The owners of Fork and Wrench say they want to focus on their other project, which
Which is the kitchen thingy in Fells.
Modern Cook
Yes,
Shop.
which I tried to go to on Restaurant Week, and only on my fault did I miss it.
right.
Right.
And what other Dinosaur Barbecue closed in Harbor East.
Which is a good tourist spot. We don't know why that closed either. That's a big space in Harbor East.
Right. They were the first tenants of this new space. And what does it mean? Maybe that might have been a bad fit for the area? I mean, the decision was made out of town. It's a Syracuse-based smallish chain of barbecue restaurants.
Yeah.
But something wasn't working. But they're certainly not the first place to shut down in Harbor East.
I mean, we lost Pazzo. I was
Well,
like,
see, I wouldn't count that at all.
you wouldn't?
Not
Because
at
they
all.
changed to redirect to
Yeah.
focus on other things.
They just rebranded. But that's not a restaurant loss.
Okay.
There's no net gain or
well,
loss there.
Chaz. And that space, is that space, no, it's just been empty.
And then a couple tenants around the corner where is it Oyster Place?
Mussels?
Mussels.
The mussel place.
Yeah, there have been a few people in there.
But the mussel place is still there right now, right?
But then new places in Mussel Place is still there. And
I mean, when you look at Harbor East, there's a ton of restaurants per square footage or whatever. I mean, there's a lot. They might inundate the
so,
or
we don't want to
overdo
be
scary.
doomy.
But, yeah.
It does seem that when people talk about restaurant closings, the owners are pretty much saying the same thing all the time, that there's too much competition.
Right.
That there are other factors like payroll. It's hard to run restaurants these days. It's hard to get hire help these days. And
Colson says rent is too high. I don't know which place he's talking about.
and I've been hearing that too. Rent is just
I'm
way
sure
too
at
high.
Harbor East it's too high.
And that
And what about Belvedere Square? I mean, we're losing things there kind of frequent. Well, not frequently, but a couple things have gone down there. Maybe their rent's too high.
sometimes they're greedy developers.
Yeah.
Then that's just certainly a fact in major cities. But for Baltimore, there's the drumbeat or the recurring theme of, did people stop coming downtown? Did people in the county stop coming downtown after the events of April 2015?
That's the concern. That's
And
what
when-
we're wondering.
Yeah, and when people say that, when their restaurant goes under, we think, oh, come on, that's not why. But these are people, they're trying to tell us something.
Right.
That
So-
they've stopped seeing people from the outlying counties come in and patronize.
And they
these
need those
restaurants.
people. Well, so two things. One, we should also note that it is January, which we already know is historically slow, and that's why you have Restaurant Week in January. So, maybe January's isn't that when everyone assesses their situation?
I guess so. I mean, I don't think they wake up one day and say, let's close, but
But you look toward January and think, oh, well, we didn't make it. It's January now.
right.
Maybe. And also the other thing is, you didn't mention Metropolitan, also in Federal Hill. So with the combined closing of Metropolitan and Reggie's, you lose two pretty Federal Hill staples.
Right. Reggie's is not closed. I mean, it's
Okay.
for sale.
Right.
But I mean, I don't think the owner has talked too much about why he wants to leave, except to say that business has been rough and that it's a tough business. But he hopes to sell that restaurant to someone who is going to carry on with it and maybe freshen it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But Metropolitan does remain closed.
I had friends who worked at Metropolitan back in the day.
Yeah, 13 years, I think.
Yeah, 13 years. So tell us what you think is going on, and are you concerned? And also, maybe we should all make a concerted effort to let's go eat downtown. It was one of my New Year's resolutions, and it wasn't to eat downtown, but my New Year's resolution was to eat at more new to me places regularly, at least monthly. So maybe we all need to band together and see if that
Yeah.
helps.
I think that place on Charles Street, the Burning Hen,
What? I don't even know what that is.
it used to be something else, where Kawasaki used to be.
Oh.
That closed. But that was...
Well, I didn't even know about it. I didn't even
Right.
know it opened. Huh. All right. If you just got here, you're watching This Week in
Yay.
Baltimore Eating, what? With Richard Koralik, which is brought to you by Eddie's of Roland Park, offering super fun fare for the big game. Like
The big game.
Yes, like their crab pretzels and pulled pork mac and cheese. Details at eddiesofrolandpark.com. Be sure to comment, share, and follow us at #JMoreEating. Talk to us. Let us know what you know about openings and closings and everything. All right, what else do you want to tell us about? Oh, this is kind of good news.
Yeah, the Walters Art Museum, that cafe space in the lobby, kind of, where
Yeah.
right in front of the store, has sort of gone through a couple different transformations over the years, and it's being transformed again, and it sounds pretty cool what they're doing there.
Yeah, that's nice to have a space to eat right there.
So it sounds like the main catering is done by City Seeds Catering,
Okay.
and they'll also be vending a lot of products by local producers like Mouth Party Caramels.
Those are the best caramels. I'm not
Scotty-
even a caramels person, and those things are ridiculous.
Show up with those, you'll be
There's an Old Bay flavor. Oh, all of their caramels are really good. Thumbs up if you like Mouth Party.
Ceremony Coffee, Scotty Cakes Baked Goods.
I don't know Scotty Cakes.
Me neither. So
Okay.
I'm going to go check it out. I live right around the corner. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna go
perfect.
pop in and see what the museum cafe has to offer. But I remember it used to be a full-service restaurant at the Walters.
The Harriman House.
Hackerman House.
Hackerman House.
Like in between
Great.
the older buildings and Hackerman House, they created a new space, and there was a couple different restaurants in there.
I never ate there. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that all museums should have at least some sort of a cafe.
To have some sort of a
Something.
cafe.
Something.
Just to revive yourself.
I mean, I guess AVAM does it best at having a themed restaurant to go with their.
Right. Well, the BMA has a great restaurant.
Yeah, they do. It doesn't really say BMA to me. Well, it does because it's out in the sculpture garden. I guess that's true. I guess it counts as themed.
Maryland cuisine.
Yeah, that's true.
I like it.
Yeah. So, okay. And then some event stuff?
Yeah, this is cool. I'm really happy about this. First year for the Black Restaurant Challenge.
Interesting.
And it starts, the kickoff is Friday, February 2nd at the Baltimore Visitor Center, which is completely subscribed. So you can't go to that. There's a waiting list for that already.
For this event? Mm-hmm. Wow.
But
are you going? Are you in?
No.
Oh.
When that's the kickoff event is just, I don't know, I mean, a tasting, I think.
Oh, okay.
But the real program,
Yeah.
Black Restaurant Challenge, is the following few weeks, or I think all of February.
Like they just do their thing and it's part of the
and
challenge?
it's to get people to start or be more mindful of patronizing black-owned businesses.
Which is good. So sometimes you don't know which they are, and you do want to spend your dollars there.
For sure.
Yeah.
And in a city like Baltimore, there should be lots and lots of black-owned restaurants.
We need to, and we should
and
support
we
that.
can count them on our hands. Look, when you and I were doing stories for the Baltimore Sun, we'd want to have representation of black chefs and black restaurant owners, and then we got into the really real world problem of recycling through the same five people.
Right. Yes, and I can in my head I know exactly which five we were always talking to.
So that's a kind of a weird thing for a city like Baltimore to have that. So this is a response.
So tell everyone what some of these are so they can go frequent them. And what does the competition entail? What are they
challenge,
doing?
Black Restaurant Challenge. You're challenging yourself to go out and patronize.
Oh, that's the idea. Okay,
yeah,
I like that. There's not like a little passport or anything?
There might be.
That'd be fun.
It's easy to find on Facebook. The Land of Kush. Mm-hmm. Down in
I've never
Seton
eaten
Hill.
there.
Oh, amazing.
People talk about it all the time. I know. I need to eat there.
Terra Cafe in Charles Village. Peace and a Cup of Joe in Ridgely's Delight. That's a coffee shop. There's a the Urban Oyster pop-up in our house. T-Volve.
I didn't know T-Volve was black-owned.
Sunny.
Check that out.
I forget Sunny's last name.
Sunny.
The Big Bean Theory inside Mount Vernon Marketplace. Connie's Chicken and Waffles at Lexington Market.
That's a famous one.
But, Water for Chocolate in Upper Frills Point.
Oh.
Sean Guy's place.
Yes. Nice. Okay, you guys go check those out.
These are all good places, and the challenge doesn't start until February 2nd. I want to talk a little bit more about it next week and to remind you all about it.
Yeah, definitely go do that. And tell us later what you think about these restaurants closing and if you've heard of anything else new and exciting coming.
Yeah, and I'd like to hear how much it matters to you who owns a restaurant. And it certainly matters to the African American community in Baltimore who likes to support black-owned businesses.
Right.
And are we in favor? Yeah, I'm in favor of it.
I'm in favor of it mainly because it also means supporting our city, and I think we really need to support this city right now. And if black-owned businesses are what's going to make us succeed, then let's get behind that.
Cool.
All right. So you have anything else?
That's it for me.
All right. So that is it for both of us today. Tune in every Thursday at 12:30 for This Week in Baltimore Eating, which has been brought to you by Eddie's of Roland Park, your source for quality prepared foods, deli sandwiches, fresh produce, and signature gift baskets. Learn more at eddiesofrolandpark.com. Follow us at #JMoreEating. Tell your friends and have a great week.
Yay.
Yay.